In January 2017, my daughter and I both had a cold. Her cold resolved and my symptoms did not. When I went in, he asked me, "Do you feel better? Did the thoracentesis help?" And I said, "Yes, it helped, but what are the results? I want to know what the pathology was." And he said, "I have to ask you, have you ever smoked?" And I said, "No, I haven't." And he said, "I'm sorry to tell you this, but you have lung cancer. It would be considered stage 4 and it's terminal."
There is a growing group of people, many of whom are women, that are never smokers and are still diagnosed with lung cancer. Paige is one of those. She had presented to a pulmonologist and a chest x-ray was done, which demonstrated a very large fluid collection. The pulmonologist made an immediate intervention to drain the fluid. The pathology from the fluid demonstrated a lung cancer.
I started on what was just the standard chemotherapy for stage 4 lung cancer at that time. In fall of 2019, I had disease progression and had to change from the chemotherapy that I was on to a second line of treatment. That treatment was pretty rough. I lost my hair and I felt really unwell during that time.
We went through multiple lines of chemotherapy rather quickly. None of the treatments that we were trying were working. Paige was getting sicker from the treatments, and she was also getting worn down from the cancer.
In early January 2020, I had another CT scan for disease progression, and unfortunately my disease had progressed, but it was also fortunate in another way because with that progression, a tumor grew that could be accessed for molecular testing.
We did do a tissue biopsy, and I'll never forget the day I got the results. I read that report multiple times just to ensure that I understood what I was reading. With that knowledge, I was able to tell Paige that we could start an oral targeted therapy. Essentially, we would stop the intravenous chemotherapy and put her on a pill that she would take every day.
When I read that I was out positive, I was so excited, I was happy. I reached over and grabbed Dr. Milam's hand and I started to cry. She started to cry. When I was first diagnosed, I hoped that I would get to see my daughter go into high school. She's in high school now, and I feel like I have hope to be there to watch her graduate